Alright, what's up everybody? I'm leading a ride. I didn't even get a bike count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 10 of us. 9, 10, 11, something like that. Through Bankhead National Forest, which is like north central Alabama area. And I was supposed to be on the T7 today, and unfortunately that didn't work out because the T7 is currently unrideable. I was going to tighten my chain last night, and when I loosened the axle nut on the axle shaft, I made it like one turn, lefty-loosey, and then lefty-loosey turned into lefty-tighty. And there was either a burr on the axle shaft or in the nut, or some grit and trash or something in there, and I don't know what, but the nut got it up on the shaft and ruined the threads on both, and it took me like 30 minutes just to get the nut off the shaft at that point. And so I ordered a new axle shaft and a new nut. And it could have been something I done, like I said, it could have been dirty, had grit in there from the last time I put it back together after having the tire off. The nut and the shaft, to my knowledge, best I can tell, are both some grade of stainless, and stainless on stainless is kind of a booger. They tend to, right behind aluminum, that tends to be threads that'll kind of galled up on each other really easily. So that could have just been a very small burr on the shaft that took me taking the nut off and on a couple times to kind of break free and fall down in the threads and galled it up, or there's no telling. Could have been me whacking the axle shaft through the swing arm with a hammer, or tapping it through with a hammer last time I was putting the wheel back on. I don't know, and it doesn't matter now, it's a done deal. So fortunately, having two bikes, I was able to just jump on the XT. And I was looking forward to the T7 though, because it is very cold today. It's in the 40s, I know that. And it's probably not going to get too much warmer, a couple degrees. So not having wind protection kind of sucks. But having two bikes is better than having one bike that you can't ride. So that is the situation. And then the second issue I've run into is with my navigation. I missed the first turn, which was the start of the route. And so I'm now riding the route backwards, and I don't think I'm getting turn by turn because of that. So today's just going great. And not to make things worse, but the last ride I did on the XT, I noticed at the end of the day, towards the end of the ride, that I had a funny noise coming from the front wheel. And got back home, couldn't figure it out, didn't really dive into it too deep. Spun the front wheel backwards up in the air, and then when I spun it forwards, I didn't have the noise again. So I was like, something was just stuck between the the front rotor cover and the disc or something. Well, now it's making that noise again. So Got a horse walking across the road. So anyway, it's making a noise again. Wheel feels good and tight between the front forks. I checked that at the gas station where we all met up. So maybe the XT will get me home. Who knows at this point? I may be breaking down and calling a truck if one of these wheel bearings is going out in the front and locks up or something. So anyway, who knows? We'll just roll with what we got, and maybe plan on doing some serious bike maintenance soon so that these issues are resolved. Kind of trying to be conscious of my pace as well. Not that I'm like a super fast rider, but because I was planning on the T7, I told everyone this would be a big bike friendly route, which the route's not changed, but I'm no longer on a big bike, so I'm trying to also make sure I just don't run off, and I don't know if I'm capable of running off and leaving everybody in this group. I'm not trying to say I'm a good rider, but I've looked down and saw probably faster than what some of these guys on I know one of my buddies in the group, Preston, I've rode with him in some other videos at West Point and stuff. He's on the Africa Twin that's got like 80/20 street tires, and then on top of that, they're at the end of their life, so he's pretty much on slicks. So probably need to keep the pace reasonable. Definitely a lot of good dirt roads and back roads to explore in this area. I've not ridden around Bankhead very much. One other time on the is the first ride I did on the T7 right after buying it, and so I've just again used gravelmaps.com. I swear to you, I'm not like sponsored by that website or nothing. It's just so far the easiest fastest, most convenient way to string together routes, specifically if you're looking for you know, dirt and gravel roads. And I actually just purchased a year premium subscription of OnX Off-Road to try that out, and I like that app, and building routes on there is easy, and it seems to be good and everything. However, it doesn't offer turn-by-turn directions when navigating the route, which is a little unfortunate. And also, it doesn't, I thought it had more of like dirt roads listed or mapped out, but it's really just trail systems. There were some things that popped up on there for this area that were like dirt roads, but like 2 or 3 when there's 50 if you look at gravel maps. So really, I don't know if I can recommend the OnX Off-Road for anything other than it does work well when building routes. And I'm not even using it right now to follow this route. I'm using Beeline because I was going to try to use my turn-by-turn navigation, and that's not working because I'm running the route backwards and I don't have the app. I didn't start the route backwards in the app, so, and I don't want to stop and slow the group down any more than I have to. So whenever we stop on our own anyway, I'll maybe get the route, get the direction of the route reversed in the app. That way I'll have a turn by turn and not have to be looking down the whole time. So yeah, OnX, I purchased that. Right now they've got a Black Friday 50% off if you want to give that a shot. I like the app, I just don't know if it's something I'll keep using after my 1-year subscription's up. But 50% off knocks it down to like 17 bucks and change. So I figured it was worth trying out for a year at that price. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I think we got around 10 bikes. I know we got a couple of DR 650s, Tiger 900 or 900 Rally, or I ain't sure the exact nomenclature of the name, but Triumph 900 ADV bike, a Super Tenere 1200, KTM 390, Versys 300X, and I'm trying to think what else I saw. CRF 250 or 300L, one of the two there, and then the old XT 225 to lead the bunch. We got some rain last night, so we don't have to worry about it being dusty today. A few potholes holding water. but should be no dust. So the entire route for today racks up in total at 120 miles, 119 point something. That's just from where I started and ended the route at pretty much the edge of the Bankhead Forest. I had around an hour ride just to get to the gas station that we met at this morning. So I think I'm looking personally at around, I don't know, maybe 250 mile or so loop. For the day. Man, that front wheel's starting to get even worse too. I can hear it now, even while I'm under gentle throttle. I don't know what's going on with that, but as long as it doesn't just lock up out of nowhere, we'll be fine. feel like you ought to be able to hear that front wheel noise coming through as I was coasting up right there. It's just like a I don't know, maybe not, because I have a microphone in my helmet, so I don't know if it picks up as good, but whatever is making that noise, I don't like it. It's a little unnerving. But front axle bolt is tight, so it's not like the wheel can just fall off. But that doesn't mean that a slew of other things could possibly happen if one of those bearings is failing. But it's also heat related. It's got to be heat related, because it doesn't do it when it's cold. It wasn't doing it when I was leaving the house this morning. I don't know. Anyway, that's enough about that. We'll bring it up again when it fails and leaves me stuck on the side of the road, I guess. Also threw my rig Dualsport bags off the T7 onto the XT225. That way on this ride I would have a little bit of storage in the event that it warms up enough that I can shed a layer or something like that. And they fit on the XT surprisingly well. When I bought bags for the T7, my goal was to get something big enough that my commuting work winter gear could fit in them in the event that I didn't need to wear them on the ride home from work. And also just so I wouldn't have to carry them into work with me, I could just leave them stored in the bike. But I also wanted something small enough that in this scenario I could put them on the XT. And I never actually tried fitting them on the XT until now, but they do fit. I'll see if I can post a picture of what they look like off the bike, so if you have an XT you can get an idea of what these would look like. Nelson Rig, I think, is the brand, and they're just labeled as the Dualsport bags. coming up on 30 miles, so what, 30, 60, it's half of 120, so about 25% of the way through this ride. And so far, Gravel Maps has been very accurate. We've definitely done way more dirt than we've done pavement. We've probably done 25 miles of dirt, 5 miles of pavement, something like that. So once again, check out gravelmaps.com. It's meant for bicycle riders, and it's updated by the community of members there, but you don't have to have a membership to get on there and view the map, which is fantastic. I think if you want to make edits and mark roads as gravel, or hey, no, that needs to come off there, it's not really gravel, it's pavement, I think then you have to subscribe or have some kind of membership, and it may still be free to just make join. You may just be making an account, and it may not cost anything. I haven't looked into it. I just get on there and cannibalize the map for dirt road routes, and I recommend you do the same. Deer season's open, so that's why there's so many vehicles pulled off the side of the road. I say deer season. I don't hunt deer enough to keep up with what the season is. I just know either turkey hunting or deer hunting, one of the two, is going on at the moment. Alright, we've had about 2 hours pass, a solid hour and a half. One of my roads ended up being a dead end. There's a impassable bridge. It's a nice bridge. So then we had to detour. We went ahead while we were at that bridge and ate some lunch and chatted for a few minutes. And then we kind of had to detour on some highway, and so I didn't want to film none of that. I think we lost 2 from the group that we're going to call it a day early, and they had already planned on doing that anyway. We hit a gas stop, and then now we're back on route. And we probably cut 15 to 20 miles maybe off because of that detour. So 120 mile routes now been cut down to about 100, and I'm sitting on 70 miles since we left. I never bothered figuring out how to run the route backwards and then start it midway through to get to my next waypoint, so still going without voice navigation, and because of that I have missed one turn. That ain't too bad for 70 miles of riding in somewhere you've never been before, in my opinion. So Alright, we just had another big highway section, 20 miles maybe, 15 miles, something like that. So definitely gonna have to go back and revise the route. I know I'm passing up dirt left and right while I'm on that highway section, but again, if you're using gravelmaps.com, not only can just anybody get on there and make an account and change what's listed as dirt or paved, but some people, again, I haven't created an account, so I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know there's entire routes on there, like start to finish entire, and so some of that stuff shows highlighted on the map, and all the highlighted lines generally are dirt, but you could be looking at somebody's entire 100-mile route that's not going to be dirt the whole way or gravel roads the whole way. So it is what it is, and I didn't get a chance to pre-ride this before leading this little group on this little Turkey Day ride 2 days before Thanksgiving. But it's definitely had its good sections as well. So if I'm not mistaken, this road loops us all the way around what's called the Sipsey. I'm not sure if it's not considered part of Bankhead National Forest, or if it's just a section of Bankhead where no motorized vehicles are allowed. So the dirt road just follows around the perimeter of it. And I believe that's the road I am on now. And if you try to look any of this up on a map, it's at the north/northeast corner of Bankhead, closest to the town of Moulton, Moulton, will be considered like the Sipsey. I don't know if it's, again, how it differs from the National Forest, Sipsey Wildlife Area or something. I just know there's no motorized vehicles allowed in that area. So you have a bunch of trailhead parking lots that you can stop at and then walk into that area for XYZ activity. Hiking, biking, hunting. I believe you can hunt in the Sipsey area. I know you can hunt in the National Forest area. But either way, this should be the perimeter road that goes around that entire area, unless I'm mistaken. Do what? Oh, I got you. Alright, little stop to drain the main vein. I didn't double check my map, but someone said it's only about 8 more miles or something. Which if it's 8 miles of this, that's a good 8 miles. But we're getting close to the end of it. There was some pretty big sections of pavement that I need to go back and find a way to avoid. Not that riding pavement's bad, but I'd like to have more dirt sprinkled in there than just having a bunch of dirt at the beginning and a bunch of dirt roads at the end, and then having an entire chunk in the middle that's all 2-lane highways. So I can see the end inside on the GPS, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I could be wrong about that. I was going to go ahead and end it, but let's hold off and see if it really is the end. I can't tell. Either way, it's been a pretty good ride so far, especially if I can kind of redo the route to get rid of 20 miles of highway riding in the middle. That would be peachy. Ideal. At least in my opinion, everyone here is on some type of adventure bike with the exception of one CRF 300L, so everyone here has got better wind protection than me, so they didn't really care one way or the other about the road section. Didn't bother them. I prefer to have as little of it as possible. And this last road of the day is a heck of a road. I'll have to go back and double check, but I mean, this is a long way. I feel like we've been on this for like 20 miles or something. Which I know if you live out west or in other countries, having a 20-mile long dirt road might not be a big deal. But in the southeast, I mean, there's a reason there's no, BDRs in Alabama or Georgia. There just ain't that much, off the beaten path stuff to ride. And it'd still be like, public roads you could use to actually get from point A to point B. Never got warm enough to shed a single layer of cold weather gear, though, I can tell you that. It's probably not 50 to 53 degrees, probably not any hotter than that. And it's breezy, and we're in the shade on all these dirt roads, so church out here in the middle of nowhere. And I'm starting to seriously wonder how much longer it's going to be to get to the end of it. This is an amazing dirt road. Woo! About smoked me one. Thought it was a dog at first. End of a long day of riding. I was just kind of zoned out. Just cruising, hitting the turns, like saw that big spot of brown, thought it was a dog. You know, dogs normally don't run across in front of you, they kind of chase along beside you. Caught me off guard a little bit. Wasn't terribly close, at least. I may watch it back and it may look a little closer than I'm remembering it being, but could have been closer, that's for sure. Could have been so close I was touching it. Now I can see the end in sight for sure. So anyway, I only got 30 seconds left, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. And man, long ride, 122 miles, not counting my commute from my house to get here and to get back home. So pretty good loot. I'm gonna go back and revise it for future journeys to try to take some more of the pavement out. And I started a Amazon storefront, so the link to that will be in the comments section. It's got some motorcycle specific tools like the tire spoons I use, camping gear, just anything and everything that I can think that I use or have used that I would recommend. I've put it in that storefront, so you can go click on that Amazon link and see all that stuff in one place. And then I've also got the Air Moto link for the small portable tire inflator. So check either one of those out if you're in the need of maybe Christmas gifts coming up or anything like that. And we will catch y'all in the next one.